stainless steel washer hit the floor and disappeared. Welcome back to Tempa Customs, and tomorrow is Thanksgiving 2024. By the time you see this, it'll be a couple days afterwards, so I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. If you watched a couple episodes ago, I think it was 2 episodes ago, I went over why I quit working on Rusty, what kind of killed my motivation to work on Rusty. Today we're going to start fixing that. If you haven't watched the episode, go back and watch that episode. It's a quick run through of some odds and ends. But the long and the short is that I forgot to put this one little piece in, and this goes behind the timing cover. And it's kind of a pain to get it all apart to put this piece back in. It's not just removing the timing cover, probably. I'm probably gonna have to drop the oil pan to fix it. We'll see. I'm gonna try not to drop the oil pan. I'm just gonna take these bolts out and see if I can get the timing cover off without doing all that. Let's hope. The downside is that if I don't do it right, we could get a leak, and I really don't want to have a leak on this brand new engine for the oil pan. So, but yeah, we're gonna remove the cover and put this on. So let's get to that. I don't remember. I think I just high-tacked this gasket on, so I don't know if we're going to damage it getting it off or not. We'll see. But that's where we're at. Let's get this timing cover off. So somewhere in this next section of me removing the timing cover and getting the gasket surfaces cleaned off, the audio didn't record, or at least didn't record well. It was pretty garbled and unintelligible, so not quite sure what happened there. So, in this part here, well, actually I'm talking about these rubber mats that I'm using that I get to use for the first time on Rusty, which I'll talk about coming up here toward the end of the video. But yeah, so taking the timing cover off, and then it was a pain to remove actually. I had to use some wedges to pop it off. But either way, we got it off, and then I had to clean the gasket surfaces up, which is pretty standard. And so that's what we're going through here on these next minute or so of fast-forwarded footage. Timing cover's cleaned up. This is all cleaned up. Got most of the RTV off of these corners. I want to make sure this thing kind of dry fits a little bit of rust on the end of the crank, just so that it will center up my seal. I might have to clean that up just a little bit. That should be far enough in to center my seal. I'm being gentle, not to damage the crank. I know people are going to be concerned about that. It is hitting an edge, rust edge. I'm going to clean up this little bit of rust really quick so that it slides on a little bit more than it's going. So I took some real fine sandpaper and kind of cleaned off the rust there. Just put a little bit of assembly lube on it because it's still kind of getting stuck. I don't think it should be, I mean, I know it's a tapered fit to a degree, but I think it should go on more than that. I don't know if that's far enough to center up my the seal. I know that's very important to do. I do have a harmonic balance tool. Couldn't tell you where it is right now, but I do have one. That's not even long enough to fit. Even if I wanted to pull it in with that a little bit. We are hitting something. Trying to see if there's any witness marks on it. One right there. Interesting. I guess if I can get it on like that, that's far enough to center my seal, as long as my seal is in. That's on straight, it's on the key. No, we'll give it a shot. Take a little bit of brake cleaner on paper towel. We're going to wipe the seal surface. Because it's filthy. Do that again. Get off any remnants of the high tack. Way better. I'll tell you, it is getting cold out here to the point where I'm almost not able to feel my fingers. Yeah, it's supposed to get really cold tonight. Should be getting our first hints of real winter coming in here in the next few days. Okay, that side's cleaned off. We'll do the same thing with the cover. Okay, cover's ready to go. And brake cleaner and cold hands. Okay, this is high tack. I love high tack. I use it on a lot of things. It just makes gaskets stick really well. Get all the little hole pieces out of the gasket. Just like that, okay. I mean, it should, that's how it came off, so it should go back on there the same way. Makes sense. Oh, I can never open these things. Hold on. High tack, if you aren't familiar with it, is sticky. And once you've opened it, it's kind of like super glue. I've only ever used an entire bottle of it. Go around all the holes. Started using high tack when I was rebuilding vintage Vespas. It was kind of like what Vespa used on from the factory on their old P series and like Rally 200s and stuff like that to hold their engine cases together. At least as close as I could find to that. And it worked really well. I rarely ever had an engine leak after. Actually, I don't know if I've ever had an engine leak at the cases once I did this. Push all that in. That'll glue our gasket right to where it needs to be. This might have to tuck in there a little bit better like that. I can see all my bolt holes, that's good. It'll move around a little bit. It's kind of tacky. It's not really like a contact cement, but it's got a tack to it. Okay, I'm gonna put my dabs of RTV down in here. I did do some research to make sure RTV will cure in this kind of temperature, because again, it's cold, 30s, 40s. And according to what I read, yes, RTV will still seal in cold temperatures. It just takes a little longer. Okay, that's one side. That's hopefully the other side. In theory, nothing should be able to get out of there. Well, no, oil should be able to get out of there. High tack the other side. I think they changed their formula. This is way brighter red than it used to be. Used to be more of a purpley color. Okay, high tack on the whole thing. Around all the bolt holes. Now, set this in a little bit. Because I want to put, well, let's put some grease on the seal first. So we put a little bit of assembly lube on the seal, and I guess the idea being that this will center up the harmonic balancer will center the cover for you better than you can do it yourself, so that you don't have extra pressure on it and less chance of it leaking. Okay, so now this, we did put this back on. So that is on there. Weird thing is that it's got a key. I guess the key so you can get it off without pulling the key off of it. But it does just smash in there. That's all it does. Okay, so to get that. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Put this on there. Set it in there. Gotta peel the gasket a little bit. Okay, this is kind of a pain. I get our gasket out from behind there because it kind of, there it goes, kind of cups the seal, or cups the cover. Okay, and kind of like that. So now, let's try to put this on a little bit. See, it's not even close enough to even be hitting it. That's not going to do me any good. Nope, that's not doing me any good. I'm still a 1/4 inch away. And I can tell that I'm really high, actually. So this is bad. Okay, I gotta go find my puller tool. Hold on. Okay, so this harmonic balancer thing, I'm not quite sure what this is for, if we needed it. I don't recall. I don't know. Anyway, so this threads into the block, or the crankshaft. Like that. And then this threads on to that. There's a bearing in this thing. So that's tight. So now I should just be able to hold this, turn that, and crank this in. Basically, we're just holding this and turning this. Nice thing is this is going to square up everything pretty nicely too. Nose is starting to run. Better catch it. I'm going to have to install this and then uninstall it once I get a couple of the bolts in, because I can't get to all of them with the harmonic balancer in the way. We're centering up in the seal at least. So let's put a couple bolts back in. Just pulled that one out of the wrong spot. Okay. So let's put a couple of bolts back in. Where did I put the 1/2 inch socket? See, and that's why you're supposed to use this thing that I didn't use. Put the 5/8 in there. I set the 1/2 inch down somewhere. I'm not used to using this setup, and I really need to get better at it, because if I had the socket in there, it would be in there. Put it in my pocket? Nope. Oh, rolled underneath the Jeep. But still, had I put it where it belonged, it wouldn't have rolled anything cheap. Let's try getting one of these bottom couple in. This still seems really high. Tight there because I might need to still pull that in with the other bolts. Okay, let's remove the harmonic balancer now and see how centered this thing looks. Probably not super centered, but what can you do? I don't know if I'm bringing out what was in the crank or not. I'm not. That's great. So now this tool gets reversed and you put this there like that, thread it back onto the crank like that. This has to thread in pretty far. I think I got this tool at Harbor Freight. I don't remember. I've got it on another episode where I used it on Ruby. I do have, I think, where I got this from. Okay, I think these are the bolts, 5/16. Those thread into the holes. They do. The only reason I knew that was because there was still anti-seize on them. I'm going to thread those in as far as we can get them for the most part. But I think if you bottom them out, you actually hit, maybe when it's seated. Right now it's not. If you go all the way tight like this, when the harmonic balancer is on, you actually hit the timing cover flange where the seal sits in. But since we are already pulled away a little bit, we're okay. So that goes to there. Now, unthread this. And the nice thing is that there's a big ball bearing plate with roller bearings, or not roller bearings, but I don't know what you call it, a plate that does this underneath here. So it keeps you from damaging too much. Okay, so that's, keep this tight. Gotta keep this tight, like that. And then this just pulls the crank back, or the harmonic balancer back off. Actually, it's a really nice tool. I've used other ones that have just destroyed threads. Okay. That looks centered, so that's a good thing. Let's put the last two bolts in. This guy goes here, and then this long one goes in there. And that one went right in. Go 1/4 inch all the way around, that way in the tray. They all kind of feel the same, which they do. And then underneath here, that, like that, like that, like that. Timing cover is on. Now, we're going to install the harmonic balancer because I can. That way we're actually a little bit ahead on things that we've done. So I'm not sure if I didn't hit record or if the recording stopped on me or what happened, but at some point that stopped record, the camera stopped recording. I'm not quite sure where yet. I haven't gone back to look, but timing cover is on. I did take the harmonic balancer back off to get the 2 bolts in behind it, and then put the harmonic balancer all the way back on. Now the harmonic balancer is pressed all the way on, which should in theory have pressed that oil slinger, what Summit calls the oil slinger, back in between the timing gear and the harmonic balancer, which means it should now be doing its job, which was all we needed to do to move forward with this project, which is sad to say, but that's the truth. Now we can move forward. Harmonic balancer's on. I haven't torqued this yet, but that's fine. Moving forward means now I can do some other things. I can put brake lines in, stuff like that. This is literally what was holding me up, and it's so dumb, and I get it, but we're past it now. I give this a 50-50 chance of leaking because now I've moved things around and seals may not have be as sealed as they were. So, you know, there's a good chance this is going to leak now. So we may be doing all this again, dropping the oil pan and whatever. But yeah, done, fixed as it should be. As I put my tools away here, I want to again mention these Boltster rubber mats. Had I used them better on this project, I wouldn't have lost sockets today. I took off a socket and I set it for some reason there, and it took me forever to find it. Had I just set it there, I wouldn't have lost it. And I was on their website this afternoon, and they make a bigger one now, and I really like the big one. I'm gonna have to look into getting it myself because it looks like it's got a spot for tools. I think they call it the toolbox or top box tray or something like that. Really nice. The silicone makes it so you're not going to be scratching stuff. Really great product. So if you're looking for something like this, go out and support these guys. They make a phenomenal product. So, and I'm not getting paid to say that. So it's not like I'm just saying it because I'm getting paid. I'm not. I bought these. Actually, I got these for Christmas. My wife bought these for me, and I love them. And I'm going to use them more. I'm going to use them efficiently more often, so I'm not losing things. At least that's the plan. So with that, we will end this episode. Thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope everybody has a great week.